them. What are their options? And AD is just mad at Snoop because Snoop was talking Clippers, it looks like to me.
All right, we'll keep it rolling here, guys. After the Game 6 loss last night in Los Angeles, it appeared that LeBron James left the floor without shaking hands with Suns players. Despite that, he was photographed shortly after swapping jerseys, posting photos with Sun star Devin Booker. Big Perk back here with us. Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to start with you, Max Kellerman. How does LeBron look here, kind of blowing off the players, not shaking hands, but then showing love to Booker?
Like he's not used to getting bounced in the first round. I think probably if LeBron could do it again, I'd like to think he would shake hands with everybody, but he was obviously frustrated and maybe disgusted and left without shaking hands. Worse things have happened. The fact that he took the picture with Booker tells me that it's not personal or anything like that against the team. He was not happy about the Lakers' performance. And by the way, guys, the Lakers should have been left for dead at half, right? They're losing by almost 30. LeBron on a bad ankle without AD. When the Lakers had basically run up the white flag, brought them all the way back to single digits. It was a misstep, not the end of the world.
It was a misstep. It wasn't the end of the world, but we have to point it out because if it was anybody else of significance, we would have pointed it out with them. Not to mention the fact that LeBron James doesn't mind being celebrated, and it's well-deserved because he's the second greatest player to have ever played the game of basketball as far as I'm concerned. We spend, I don't give a damn how much we talk about LeBron James, we spend far more time acknowledging his greatness than we do criticizing him. And in the end, he's a guy that understands who he is, brings up words like leadership, brings up words like influence, brings up words like power and community and things of that nature and being a role model. Well, guess what? It's nice that you took that picture. You probably took that picture with Devin Booker and what have you, even more so. Not to say you wouldn't have done it because I know you would have, but you probably did it even more so because you know how it looked for you to follow walking off the court in Game 5 when y'all were getting trounced by 30 to walking off the court last night without shaking everybody's hands who had defeated you. It's something that we brought up. Isaiah Thomas and others have had it held against them for eternity. Why would we ignore the fact that LeBron James elected to do that last night? That was very classless on his part. It ain't the end of the world. It doesn't make him a bad person. He is an incredible, incredible role model. But in the end, the bottom line is last night wasn't one of those shining moments. Period.
At the end of the day, who cares, man? The reason he walked off the court, it had nothing to do with the Phoenix Suns. We already know his relationship with Chris Paul, the godfather of one of his childs, I believe, his children, his oldest child. And we know,
that's true.
Look, he not only did he give Devin Booker a jersey, it was a whole paragraph on there. You know what LeBron James did? This was a sign of frustration towards his teammates. And I probably would have did the same damn thing, having to watch Kyle Kuzma play the game of basketball. Me watching and having to go out there and actually play with him, watching him do crazy things, idiotic things, possession by possession, when they're trying to claw their way back into the game. He probably wanted to hurry up, get to his locker, get the jersey signed, get it to Devin Booker, get in the shower, so he wouldn't have to have a disagreement or something with one of his teammates who didn't show up to the playoffs. It had nothing to do with the Phoenix Suns and him shaking hands. I'm pretty sure that him and CP3 probably went to dinner last night, Stephen A.
Kendrick Perkins, you're absolutely right. It had nothing to do with the Phoenix Suns. It was definitely born out of frustration. But you just lied to the American public. And see, here's the reason, here's the thing that everybody needs to know about Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick Perkins, that mean mug and all of that other stuff, you're a good brother, and you pay attention to how things look just as well as you pay attention to how they are. And the fact of the matter is, you know good and damn well, if a team just spanked you on your court, you would not have gotten up, regard your frustration, you'd have took out your frustration on your teammates when you got inside that locker room, but that would not have stopped you from going on the court at the end of the game. Again, it's not a big deal. I'm not saying it's a big deal. I'm just saying that if it were anybody else, we would be saying something about it. And we're going to point that out about LeBron as well. You would have shaken their hands.
this is why I'm gonna tell you where you're wrong, okay? And I'm gonna tell you on how I feel. I coach my son 9-year-old team, right? AAU. And if we lose, we don't shake hands. And when we beat people, the other team, we don't shake hands. We go about our business. It's just the way it is, and it is what it is. At the end of the day, he walked off the floor knowing Monty Williams know how LeBron James feel about him. Chris Paul know how LeBron James feel about him. Devin Booker, I mean, like he has come on social media plenty of times praising how great of a player Devin Booker is. Talk about how D Book always gets snubbed or he's underappreciated, things to that nature. And all I'm saying is at the end of the day, in the moment, when you're trying to claw your way back into the game, and you got to go out there and Stephen A. and Max, listen, Kuzma was playing so bad last night that I made my kids stop watching the game. I literally watching the game.
He was awful.
Because
he was awful.
Picking up bad habits on how to play the game of basketball. So me watching it, us watching it, imagine being on the court with him and having to go through that and deal with that.
Max, I stand corrected. I stand corrected because Kendrick Perkins was a part of those Boston Celtics team, including one that lost to the Miami Heat, and KG walked off the court. And KG wasn't trying to shake their hands at all, where Ray Allen stayed on the court. So you had teammates that would do something like that. I feel you. I got it.
Can I just say two random things that came to my mind here? First of all, I'm surprised the 9-year-olds don't shake hands. But then the other thing I'm thinking is, why are we still shaking hands? I thought we're in a pandemic.
Actually,
I thought we're not supposed to do that anymore anyway.
Hey, you know what I think?
It's 100% open in Texas. I mean, I don't know about different other areas, but in Texas, everything is 100% open. It's capacity.
Stephen A., you know what I think the news is out of that segment? You have Stone playing against 9-year-olds? What are you trying to do, Kendrick Perkins? You got Stone in a league with 9-year-olds? Come on. It's not even fair. Stone playing against 9-year-olds?
Okay. I'm being told that I'm supposed to ask if LeBron and AD will win another chip together, Perk. I really want to ask you why you're teaching them not to shake hands, but I will listen to my producers. And I will go to you first, Stephen A. Do you think they can?
I think they can, but I don't believe they will. I said it on Get Up this morning. I'll say it again. I think the Lakers' run is over. I really, really do. Anthony Davis and LeBron James will be back, and they'll be lethal, but it's a byproduct of the style of play that exists in the NBA and the people that are coming. Klay Thompson's coming back healthy. Look out for Golden State. Utah is not going anywhere. They're going to be here. Jokic is that dude, and Jamal Murray is coming back healthy, and we've seen the ascension of Michael Porter Jr. We're living in a perimeter-oriented time where you know a lot of success is predicated on guard play and your ability to hit perimeter shots. And by the way, your ability to hit free throw shots as well, which all of those dudes can do. Then we look at the East, KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. They'll be around. Milwaukee's coming. Philadelphia's coming. I just look at the league itself, and the league is in such a great place for LeBron to be getting a year older, for Anthony Davis's durability to still be a question mark. I guess I could be wrong because LeBron can end up imitating MJ because MJ used to bring dudes over to his house and they had to work out with him. Okay, and so LeBron might have to take that challenge of making sure that AD works out with him to get himself in peak condition and to be a bit more durable. But I think those question marks, I think their best opportunity was this year. I think that window is closed, and I don't think LeBron's going to win another title in L.A.
They can win another title. It will take a little bit of luck. Like someone on the big three in Brooklyn would have to be hurt in the finals, something like that, right? But we just saw it just happen with the Lakers. I mean, that's part of the game. That's part of the game. And so if we're going to, we can't just assume, well, they're not going to win another title because AD's injury prone. Well, I mean, KD's been hurt. You know, Kyrie's missed games. James Harden was hurt this year. So we can't just say it's going to happen to the Lakers, but not anybody else. The bottom line about this season, guys, AD and LeBron were hurt. Now, when you get older and LeBron is older, you have a tendency to get hurt more. But even with that, if not for the ankle, they had a chance to win the game last night. They were, again, within single digits. And if AD was even 80%, I think they would have gotten by the Suns. So with these two healthy, Talen Horton-Tucker's another year more experienced. Guys like KCP, you can always find a shooter in the second round in the draft. You can find someone in the G League or overseas who can shoot the ball. When you have two pillars like LeBron and AD, if they're healthy in the playoffs, you got a shot.
I just want to say this. The window is not closed. And we watched because of Rob Pelinka, right? We watched him. He's been aggressive since he's taken over this job. And I think he'll be aggressive this offseason. We don't know what Brad is going to do. We don't know what Damian Lillard is going to do. So I don't see the window closing. I see Rob Pelinka going back to the drawing board and building and going out and get some pieces that could help them. But look, AD is still in his prime. Matter of fact, he just entered his prime. And if we're talking about him just doing the necessary steps of dieting and getting into the weight room and things to that nature, then I still like the Lakers' chances of winning another championship.
All right, we'll leave it there. Perk will be back with us in a moment.